What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. We've got the Jetta here, but today's video is going to be a little bit different. We are going to be discussing the key fob and how to fix or replace the pieces that break on it. I ordered a set of Amazon key fobs, so for $10 to $15 you can pick up a key fob that is basically identical to the Volkswagen OEM or Audi or whatever key fob, and they will send you one, and it has a blank key installed in it, which is all fine and dandy if you want to go to the locksmith and get them to cut the key for you. I am just solely looking at the potential option of pushing the pin out of this and swapping this blank key for one of my keys. So the issue with the OEM Volkswagen key or Audi, whatever you have, is that the cast aluminum piece that actually holds the key in, that fails. Long-term use, the car is, what, 22 years old, 23 years old, 20 years old, whatever. It starts to break down and this piece eventually cracks and then releases the key, and you will need to replace it. So we're going to do that today. So the tools that you will need for this job, I have this Allen wrench screwdriver thing. It is 50 thousandths, the size on that, so 0.050 is the actual size of this. It was for RC cars, but it is a small Allen wrench, and it is small enough to fit through the pinhole on the key right there. So it's small enough to fit cleanly through that hole, but big enough to push the pin out of the key fob there and get this blank key out. You will also need a Phillips head screwdriver, which will remove this small screw on the back side of the key fob. Removing that will let the key fob actually split in half, and we can get to this new cast aluminum piece that we need to press our old key into. So yeah. Alright, so first step is going to be splitting the key fob in half. So we'll have the buttons facing up. You'll get your thumb, and it doesn't really matter since this board is not programmed to the car, it's not going to do anything. Push on it and kind of fold the key in half. So with your own personal key, you might end up unlocking something, locking something. You're not going to mess up the board, but as you can see, it is now apart. Do it one more time. So push down on the buttons and kind of physically bend the key in half, and what it does is there is a lip on this side, and there's like a little retaining clip on the other side, and what that does is basically separate them so you can pull the key apart. So once this is apart, we can set this aside for later, and then we will come to this half with the Phillips head screwdriver piece on the back. Sorry, this thing doesn't focus, we're in the shade, the car's in the light, but we'll take the Phillips head screwdriver, we'll go ahead and unscrew this piece here. So get that screw out, make sure you hold it because it will just come apart, and then pull it apart. Careful, because this piece is going to come off, and there we go. So now it is all apart. So we have our button attached to the spring. We have the most important part, in my opinion, the piece that holds the key as well as the key. You want to be very gentle when we're pushing this out. We'll go into the garage and get this all pressed out real quick. So we have got it. Whoa, spooks. We have it chalked up in here. So Allen wrench, key, socket to catch the pin. Alright, so an important thing, because there is some flex in the shaft of this Allen wrench, we're going to have to make sure we kind of guide it. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get you guys a good angle of this. I'll just kind of periodically pick the camera up as we go. So you guys are going to see a lot of my hand for a little bit. So we're just slowly turning the vise to get this stuff in and lined up without bending anything, hopefully. Yeah. Alright, so slowly. Everything wants to explode apart. Everything does not want to stay in line. But we are slowly getting the pin pressed into the socket there. So just a little patience. You guys got to be extra patient when you're pushing things like that. So this last little bit, you could see how it started to flex there, but we have it. So the Allen head is fully in the key, and the pin is about to fall off in there. You can finish the rest of it. We'll just loosen this piece. So we will loosen it, and you will see that the pin, whoa, so the pin is pushed out. So that is the pin. The Allen did its job, pushed it out, and now what we can do is go ahead and grab some vice grips or some pliers or whatever and just pull that piece the rest of the way out. Alright, so we got pliers, we've got this piece. We don't want to bend it, so we're gonna adjust it so it's pretty loose when it's clamped, and we'll go ahead and clamp it, and we should be able to pull it out, hopefully, without bending anything. Just go ahead and rotate it out. Boom. Pin is now out, and the key is free. We are at the point where I had to do a little bit of grinding and resurfacing. These Chinese copy keys were just a little bit thinner than the OEM Volkswagen keys, so here is the one that I literally just broke off my key fob for the video, and we can try and put it in the hole, but it does not fit whatsoever. So what I had to do was actually get this on the grinding wheel and grind it down so it is just a hair thinner, and now fits in like a glove. Perfect. And then the groove that is in the key also matches up with the hole there. I did have to shorten it just a little bit as well. Alright, so we'll get the new silver piece here. We'll get the old key. We will slide that in, and then we're going to get the pin, and we will slide it in the way that it came out, and it is already gripping on there, so you can see the pin is part way in. What I'm going to do is press it with the vise the rest of the way in, and hopefully it doesn't come apart. Alright, so it actually pressed in there nicely and is in there. So to finish it off the rest of the way, I'm going to actually put like a screwdriver, like the head of a screwdriver, and just kind of, or even like a center punch. Maybe I'll use this punch here. So I will, as I drop the oil, I'll go ahead with this center punch and just give it a light tap just to make sure it is seated all the way, because it is not flush on this edge. And now we have a small flathead screwdriver and the old key. Sorry, can't see it, I'm upside down. And I will try, ooh, already ruined it. Yeah, I don't know how to safely get this off without messing anything up. Oh, there we go. So we got under it, pried the piece off. It is just glued on there, so a little bit of super glue, and we'll put it on the new key, and we'll go ahead, undo this Phillips head screw. So that screw is out, and then this whole thing just kind of comes apart. You might have to work with it. The keys are old. Yeah, so just pry around on each edge. It'll start to work apart, as you guys see. And you guys can also see the mechanism and how that works. So, yeah. So with this key, there is what seems to be a little pill piece. Yeah, seems to be like a little pill piece glued in there pretty good. I think I will, I don't know. Alright guys, so here is the old piece, here is the new one. I found out that this one is glass, or the little pill thing that I found is glass. I actually broke the one that was in the old key. Luckily this one was not very secure, just very lightly glued in there. So yeah, this one is now broken. It is glass. I got glass all over my finger. That was cool. And we're gonna see, I don't know how it would be a programming piece. I don't think it is. Alright, so now we are on the floor. I've used everything as a tripod except for a tripod. I need to just use my tripod, but it's over there in that bin. I don't feel like digging, guys. Anyway, we have the spring here from the new key. We have the button from the new key. We put the button on top of the spring. There is a little locator piece inside that hole. Just make sure that the spring is in it. You can feel it. It'll try and spring back on you. Won't let it spin. So that's how you know that is in properly. And then just make sure you get the key the proper way. So we have where the key would normally sit in here. And it kind of has like a guide, a little track that it rides on. So yeah, that is good. And then, oops, as I dropped the spring also has a locator position. So there's a little end, a pokey end on the spring. You can see that kind of shimmering in the light there. That goes facing up. So just like how it is now. So we'll put it on its little locator thing. And then as you guys can see, that pokey piece facing up, it slides right into the indentation there. So that is located, the button is located, and in the key, it also has a location. This button has 3 tabs. The key also has 3 tabs. So we will match those all up and put it together like so. And then this is where it's gonna, I think you have to rotate it 1 full rotation clockwise. Should give us the right amount of spring. I can't, oh no, it'd be counterclockwise, so the spring actually wants to open. So we're learning, guys. Whoa. Feels crazy. Yeah, so we'll do one full rotation counterclockwise and see. Yeah, so when we push the button, the key wants to open up and spin that way. So yeah, one full rotation counterclockwise, guys. Counterclockwise. Lefty loosey. Alright, so we have that all loaded up, and we can go ahead with this half that we just glued that little pill in and rest it on top. Boom. I think, yeah, there we go. So once it's on there, it is on there. So we'll go ahead and put this together with that Phillips screw that we pulled out, and it should hold together. Once it comes apart, it seems like it does not want to stay up or go back together unless the screw is in there. So be mindful of that, guys. Looks like the key fits in there nicely and springs out nicely as well, as you guys can see. So nice. Alright, so screw in the hole. Go ahead, tighten. Boom. The whole piece holds together now. Flips up. Flips up. The key is tight in there. We no longer have a broken piece. Just split the new key, keep the battery, which is fine. Take out the new control board, and if there's a chip or whatever, because it's not going to communicate with your car. However, this one, I don't see why this one would not. This is the OEM one that came out of the original key. So we can just swap this into the new housing, which it fits. The posts, it hooks on one post, and then the other post is actually just slightly off, which might be a good thing, so it holds it in there tight. Maybe with like a flathead screwdriver, you can kind of pry on one edge and force it over that second post there. Alright guys, so I went ahead and got this gigantic flathead screwdriver. Just a light amount of pressure on this top edge, and then push this bottom pin on, and it went right on. So both pins are in there. This thing is held in securely, so it works. So all three buttons, or all four buttons, now the panic button, that works as well. I'm going to go ahead and actually put the back side of the housing on and see if it works with the car. So this still has the new battery that came with the key. This is the new housing, and I'll just put it back together. Clips back together fairly easily. Click it into place. Okay, we are back. Let's see if it does anything with the car. Yeah, it works. So let me get this other piece. So this is the piece that has all of the new buttons, and we can just slide it back together, and we have basically a brand new Volkswagen Jetta key. Sorry, it's out of focus. So that is brand new key with the old key that broke off the old key fob. Let's take it to the car and see if it will start, or if it has like this weird security chip. That little pill doesn't allow it to. Alright, so we can press the unlock button. Totally works. Lock totally works. Let's go ahead and see. If the airbag blows up in my face, I'm going to be really mad, but you guys will learn. Boom. Starts right up, guys. Alright, so it starts, but we do have this blinking light, so it is not happy, guys. Alright guys, so I went back in the garage with the key, and I went ahead and took it back apart. Although I did break the other little pill looking device, I went ahead and swapped everything that was in that pill into this key. So the broken glass and all, it is in here. I'm gonna go ahead and like super glue it in, and I went out and tested it on the car. Here, I'll show you guys, and it totally works. So even though that piece is broken, it didn't affect how it functions with the car. It definitely is a security device. So same key, we'll go ahead, start the car up. There is no blinking key light like before. Check engine light is normal, and the door ajar light and the e-brake of course is on since we are standard. So yeah, it works. We're all set. Alright guys, so to make a long story short, you are going to get your new key. You're going to push the pin out that holds the actual cut key out, so you can actually remove the blank key and put your key in. You'll have to do a little bit of trimming. That is fine. Don't be afraid of it. And then you will go ahead and swap all of the electronics from the old key into the new key. You will swap that little glass pill, which has the little security device for your car, to let it know that a legit key is in the car, and to run. I'm sure it would go into limp mode if I ran it without that. So I broke mine. Try not to break yours. I don't know how you're going to get it out, but try to not break it, and then go ahead and swap it into the new key, along with all the other electronics and stuff, and you are good to go. So yeah, that is basically all I did tonight, and we have a fresh key.